Yo, hey, what is up, guys? It's Sid, and today I'm going to be talking about the Viper Mini. Now, as some of you might know, I already made a Viper Mini review. I've talked about the modifications I've done to it, like how my Viper Mini is glossy. I've also paracorded it, added aftermarket skates, sanded down the sensor ring and whatnot. And back then, my review was pretty positive, and the reason is because I actually enjoyed that mouse. I enjoyed using this mouse back then. However, as time passed, I noticed that this wasn't truly the mouse for me. And the reason is not because I found out something about the mouse that I already didn't know, or that, the quality deteriorated or whatnot. It's because with the XL1, I found out that the Viper Mini wasn't really, my type of mouse, especially with how I grip the mouse. And I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna be talking about that in this video. And I'm also gonna be talking about how shape is really important. So I actually had a misconception before. I did not like super light mice, and the reason was because of the Viper Mini. When I had the XM1, which was around 10 grams heavier than the Viper Mini, I noticed how much more stable this mouse was and how much more I actually enjoyed using it and how much more control I had with it. Um, I thought this was because of weight. However, it actually wasn't. Now that I think about it and now that I, actually went over it, I even tried, shitty methods like adding a coin to the back of the Viper Mini, which I guess kind of helped, but it wasn't a permanent solution. And I just enjoyed the XM1 a lot more, even though these mice now had the same weight. Now, the reason that I liked the XM1 more than the Viper Mini, and why I don't like the Viper Mini, is because of the hump location. Now, as you might see, the XM1 hump is way to the back, while the Viper Mini's hump starts at the middle. Now, what happens is when you want to claw grip a mouse, right? By the time your palm comes to like the back of the mouse, the hump's already gone on the Viper Mini, which means that I really don't have the stability that I want with it. My palm isn't really touching the thing, and especially since my hand is a lot wider, I really need that, wider back stability that I have with the XM1. And now look at the XM1's back and the hump. It's a lot wider, and the hump placement is a lot further back, which means that I have a lot more hump to put my palm in, to rest my palm with, and this just gives me so much more stability. Now, the Viper Mini is, in my opinion, not a great claw mouse. It might be great if you have tiny hands and if you're gonna palm it, or if you're gonna fingertip it. This mouse is probably great for fingertipping, but I just don't like fingertipping because I just don't find it stable enough. Um, However, I just noticed that I just can't claw with it because of the back thing. I couldn't aim with it. I am a small dots player, and while I could get, Grandmaster, and I did get Grandmaster with like this mouse a couple times in small dots, a score wise. What I noticed is there was always this itch in the back of my head that I really just didn't feel stable and really precise with this mouse that I did with the XM1. And that's not a good thing. You don't really want to be thinking about your mouse while aiming or while playing. And that's how I noticed that the Viper Mini was just not for me. Now the thing about the Viper Mini is, um, there is the Hot ES, right? And if you're gonna claw, I recommend you get the Hot ES. I really want to try the Hot ES. However, I also want to buy an Artisan Zero because I'm a static dots player now and I really need that, extra stopping power. However, I feel like the Hot ES would be a tremendously better version of the Viper Mini, just due to the hump location and the placement, because of the hump is way more to the back and it's a bit wider. So I feel like if I tried the Hot ES out, I would love it. However, I'm probably gonna be buying the Hot ES in the near future just to try it. So I'm gonna probably be making a review and a comparison with the Viper Mini. So yeah, that's about it. Shape is king. This is what I always notice, right? the more that I buy mice and the more that I try things out, I can give you a mouse with the world's best coating, the world's best stock cable, the world's best, the smoothest mouse feet, the best scroll wheel, the best clicks, the best everything at a state of the art center. And if it has a bad shape, you probably won't be able to use it. That's why everything else is secondary when it comes to a mouse. Shape is the most important part, in my opinion. And if you're gonna buy a mouse, you should 90% of what you should be looking for is the shape and if it's gonna fit you. Because if not, it doesn't really matter what the other secondary parts are. You're not gonna be enjoying the mouse enough to, take advantage of the superior clicks or the better scroll wheel or the side buttons or whatnot, right? So, guys, shape is king, and shape is mostly opinion based as well. I don't like the Viper Mini. You might love it, and I completely understand that. Everyone has a different grip. Everyone has different hand sizes. Everyone has different play styles, right? And that's why it's good to have variety in mice, and it's good to try new mice sometimes because you might notice that, oh wow, this shape wasn't for me. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.